Hey you guys, welcome to Bones Collector. This is a top 10 list video that I'm going to do today. I've been waiting to do it for quite some time, and it was a very difficult choices to make. This is going to be my top 10 filler games, and so I want to explain some of the criteria that made me choose the games that I did. And first of all, a filler game is a game, for those of you that don't play a lot of board games, that fills time, a short period of time. So these games that I'm going to talk about in this video can be played in 30 minutes or less, and sometimes very quick, 15-20 minutes. And the reason why these games are really important is because, like many of you, we're very busy, and you're very busy, and sometimes big board games don't hit the table as often as you would like them to, because you've got other things to do. So filler games are great when you have a time that you're trying to fill. Maybe you're waiting to go to the airport and take a trip, and you've got half an hour to spend, or you come home from work and you're tired, and you don't want to get out a great big board game and set that up and play it, and so you're just not mentally into it. But boy, filler games, they step in there and take that place where you're trying to play a board game. You want to spend some time playing a game, but you don't want to commit a lot of time to it. So that's what filler games are. And again, they have to play fast. They have to play quickly. Quick setup time, and on the table, play it, and you're done with it in probably 20 minutes. So that's really where I'm at with a filler game. So with that being said, let's get started. Here come my top 10 filler games. Rice dice. Rice dice. I just got this off Kickstarter a few weeks ago in the mail, and I have done a video telling you how to play this game, showing you how to play it, and I really like it. It can be played very quickly. I love the box. It's very cool. The components are very nice. Has some beautiful engraved dice that you're going to roll, and in this game you're simply going to be having a deck of cards that you draw paddy fields from, and one of your cards will have a certain number of hexes on it, and those number of hexes will tell you how much water it's going to take to water that rice paddy field. And the goal is to harvest that field, but there's a process for doing that. So you have to water the field, you have to plant the field, you have to release the water off of that field, then you harvest it and get the points that are on the card. And that's the core process in this game. But what makes it really meaty and really fun is on every card there's some text that give you a twist or a special power or a special privilege during the game that you're going to daisy chain together to make scoring those points easier or different. So that's really a lot of fun, and that's the focus of this game, is the text on those cards. And boy, this game's a lot of fun. It plays very fast, and but there's some meaty decisions in it, and that's a requirement for being on the top 10 list of filler games for the Bones Collector. So an excellent game. The only problem is it's not available yet, but it's very inexpensive when it will be. It's going to be like $17 or $18. So watch for that at your local game store and pick it up, because you'll really like it, as I hope you like it as much as I do. Rice Dice, Spirits of the Rice Paddy Dice Game. It's totally excellent. Cute little package too, huh? Okay, number 9 on my list is a game called Jaipur. And in Jaipur, you're trying to impress the Maharaja. And before I start though, this is a 2-player only game, and I tried to kind of stay away from 2-player only games, but let's face it, there's times when you're pressed for time that you're going to want to play 2-player games. My wife Lori and I, it's just the two of us mainly playing board games, so 2-player games are very important to us. Even games that play more players than that if they have to play well at 2-player in order to be in our library. So Jaipur is one of those. This game plays really fast, and it's a lot of fun. It's the best 2 out of 3 rounds, and you have a deck of cards. You're going to be trading goods. You're going to be exchanging those goods for points tiles, and so you have a market of cards you're going to be drawing those goods from, and there's a set of rules and the way that you have to do that. And so it's beautiful art on the cards. It's a wonderful, wonderful, fast-playing game, and I can't say enough about it, and it'll always be in my library. Jaipur, it's an excellent time. Very inexpensive game again. I love all these small box games that make you think and offer that intellectual entertainment that you're looking for, and this is one of them. So pick this game up. It'll be in your library forever. You'll love it, and as much as I do, I'm sure. So Jaipur. And Medici is a 2 to 4 player game, and in Medici you're going to be drawing cards from a deck, and the mechanism in drawing those cards is you're going to turn them face up, as many as 3 cards. Now if you take the card furthest to the right, you have to take the card furthest to the right, and when you take that, you can also take the other 2 cards to the left if you want. But if you take the one in the middle, then you have to take the other card to the left. So, but you can't, it sounds confusing, but there is a mechanism to taking those cards from the market. And when you take those cards from the market, you're going to, that's called your ship, and you're going to take those cards, put them in your ship. You have a point total on your ship that you're allowed to have. And, or excuse me, it might be cards. I think 7 cards you're allowed on your ship, so it's not points. It's number of cards on your ship. So once you have 7 cards in your ship, that's all you can have. That's the limit. And then once all players have 7 cards, then those you're going to score those, and the person with the most points on their ship gets a 20-point bonus. That's in a 2-player game. I think it changes for a 3 to 4-player game, but we always play it 2-player, and so you get a 20-point bonus for having the most points on your ship. The other player gets none. So you want to have that 20-point bonus, and then once your cards go to the once you score those points on the ship, they go to your warehouse, and you take all those cards, put them in your warehouse, and it's a set collection game. And the number of icons you have, I think there's 5 commodities that you're going to be using in this game, and the one who has the most icons and those commodities scores the most points and wins at the end of the game. So a very fun, fast-playing game. Lori and I play it all the time when we want to just set something up quick, but has some fun theme to it and some fun intellectual challenge. So Medici, the card game, you'll love it. Check it out. Give it a try. This is number 7, and this is a very, very well-known game called King Domino. And King Domino was the Spiel des Jahres winner in 2017, I believe. And it's a domino game. You're going to have domino tiles. Lay them out, and I'm talking about 2-player game. There are going to be 4 of them laid out face up, and you're going to have little kings, little meeple kings, and you have 2 of them each, and you're going to place them on the tiles that you want, taking turns. And once you claim those tiles with your kings, you're going to place those in your castle area, and you can build a 5x5 grid, and you score points by having like terrains all together on those dominoes. And the dominoes, the decisions are very tough in this, and you have to do it very quickly. So it's a lot of fun. And once you build that 5x5 grid, of course, at the end of the game, you're going to add up and see how you did scoring with your like terrains all together. And there's crowns on some of the tiles that give you multipliers for the terrain values. So I think 1, 2, and 3 crowns. So that's pretty cool. You got to plan ahead. And it's a very, very fun game. The designer is Bruno Cathala, and he did a great job with this game. I love playing it. And there's beautiful art on these tiles, on these domino tiles, that you really can't appreciate in this little box. So I went out and got giant King Domino. And the tiles are huge, and the King meeples are about that big. And so I really, really enjoy this because the art is so cute. It has farmers and sheep and stuff on the tiles, drawn in a kind of a comical manner. And so I really, really enjoy giant King Domino. I have in 2 formats. I don't know if I'll hang on to both of these boxes. I don't know. I have for a while now, so I don't know. Maybe I will keep them both. But hey, it's a fun game, and it's super fast. You can reel off a game of this in 10 minutes, and you really, really enjoy it. King Domino, it's just a lot of fun, and I won't get rid of this anytime soon. It's just a great game. Now, Splendor came out 2000, I'm thinking 16. Yeah, 2016. And I think it's very popular. It has some other games that are very similar to it. Century Spice Road and Century Golem are the two that are very, very similar to this game. Now, my wife, if she was doing this video, she would choose Century Golem for this spot. But I love Splendor. In Splendor, this is a simple engine builder that's very, very quick. But the thing that sets it apart for me is that you have these really heavy poker chips that are wonderful to play with. So you're building an engine, getting diamond mines and rubies and sapphires, and building those in your tableau, and you purchase those with the poker chips. So it's really, really cool. I have a great time playing it. It goes fast, and you know, again, it's just a whole lot of fun. I hope you check it out sometime. You can watch it play it on a couple of videos on YouTube, but it's a blast. I mean, I bought it, and I've played it, and I'm not sick of it. So that says a lot, but it's a lot of fun, and again, I like playing with those big poker chips. It's an amazing game, very inexpensive. Again, Splendor. Okay, number 5, Fuse. This little filler game is different than the rest on the list because it's real time, and I'm not a fan of real-time games. You know, I think we have 2 real-time games. This one and its little brother, Flatline. This one came out first, is why I call it the big brother. Flatline is actually a bigger game, but it's also real-time. They're both cooperative, and I love them both. But this is a nice little filler game. You have a deck of cards that have patterns on them of how you're going to roll dice together and start choosing those dice and build those patterns on the cards that you have in front of you. And those patterns or those cards are bombs. So you have 10 minutes to do it. You have to defuse all those bombs or build all those patterns on those cards in 10 minutes or the ship blows up. And it's really, really a fun thing to do. And it has a little timer app that you can use, and I really don't like apps in board games, but this one I use because it's nothing but a timer, except it has this female voice antagonizing you. Are you even trying to defuse all these bombs? And you're frantic. You're trying to roll those dice, and you have to work together and say, I'll take this red 3. I mean, what can you use? What do you need? And communicating with each other as to exactly what dice you need to complete those cards. So it's a great time. Fuse, a very popular game. I love this game. It's one of the, again, I really don't like real-time games, but you do this in a cooperative fashion, so that makes it palatable for me, and I really, really enjoy it. Fuse, check it out. You really, really like it. It's a blast. Okay, I'm down to number 4. Yay! Jump Drive. Jump Drive is a game that's designed by Tom Lehman. Now, Tom Lehman, this is in the same universe, first of all, as Roll for the Galaxy and Race for the Galaxy. Both Tom Lehman designed both those big board games. And this is just a little card version of those in the same universe as those 2 board games. In it, you're just going to draw cards from a deck, and the mechanic of this game is whatever cards you want to play in your tableau, they have a cost up in the left-hand corner, and you're going to have to take cards from your hand, and let's say the cost is 3 for the card you want to play in your tableau, you're going to have to pay for it with 3 cards out of your hand. And those decisions get very tough to make, because you'll have those cards in your hand, and you'll say, well, I want to put this in my tableau because it pays me 5 victory points, but I don't want to pay for it with these other cards because I want to daisy chain those things together, and I don't want to get rid of them because I want to put those on my tableau. So the decisions get very, very tough in this game. And it's a fast-playing game. It takes place in space, and it's an engine builder. And man, it's a lot of fun, you guys. I'm telling you, jump drive. Look how little that box is, and it's just a whole lot of fun. And again, it plays very fast, so I just love it. Jump drive. Yeah, number 3. Okay, Arboretum. Arboretum is a game that you might guess about trees, and this is such a, of all the games on this filler list, I think this game is the most intellectual. It's got the toughest choices in it because it's got a strange mechanic where you're going to lay down cards in your Arboretum, and I think there's 10 different kinds of trees in here. Maple, oak, blue spruce, things like that. And you're going to lay those cards down in front of you, and you're going to try to build the longest path of the same kind of trees. And sounds easy, but the problem is when you go to score those paths in your tableau, you have to have the most points of that card still in your hand. So if you've got, the cards are numbered 1 through 8 for each tree variety, by the way. So if you want to score that tableau, you better have some cards in your hand of a higher point value for that kind of tree than your opponent has. Otherwise, you're not, and it's happened to me. I mean, I've got this beautiful path where I can score maybe 5 or 6 points, and my opponent, who is my editor/wife, has more points of that type of tree in her hand, and I get nothing for it. Here I was counting on that, and it didn't happen. So that is a crazy mechanic. And it just, so when you're playing it, you're thinking, no, wait a minute, I want to make this path of this kind of tree, and I want to put this here. And they have to be in ascending order in number also. So that's another thing that makes it very, very difficult. And so this is one, it's going to take some thought. But once you get used to it, it plays very fast, and it's so much fun. Arboretum, check it out. Number 2! Biblios, and I haven't been mentioning the player counts on some of these. You can check them out on Board Game Geek, but this plays 2 to 4, Biblios, and I have this in the number 2 spot because this game, there's some games that are just designed to perfection, and this is one of them. I just love Biblios, and in Biblios you're going to have 5 dice on a board in front of you, and you get to manipulate the value of those dice. And why would you do that? Because it's a set collection game, and each one of those dice has a color, and if you happen to have more points of that color at the end of the game, you're going to get the value of that dice for your point total. And there's only 5 dice, so obviously the game is going to be close, and you're going to build those set collections through a mechanic where each player draws, you get the deck of cards handed to you. You're going to take 3 cards off that deck. You're going to play 1 to the public, 1 to yourself, 1 for public, and 1 for the auction out of those 3 cards. Then once that's done, you pass the deck to the next player, and they do the same thing. And at the end, you take that auction deck, and you're going to pay for it with the hands in your card. But gosh, you're going to pay for it, and you wonder, can I do that and still maintain my lead in that color for those dice, so that I can maintain the lead in this game. And you can manipulate those dice by getting church cards in that deck. You'll draw them out, and when you get a church card, you can turn the dice. It'll say +1 or -1 or something like that, and you're going to turn that dice value from a 6, maybe it's at a 6, and your opponent has it all the way up there at a 6, and they're going after that color, so you're going to turn it down to a 5, and maybe you get another church card, you're going to turn it down to a 4, and pray for another one to turn down to a 3, and so on. So it's so much fun. I can remember one time I wasn't feeling good, I had the flu or something, and Lori brought this game in on a TV tray, and we sat there and played it for an hour, Biblios, and it plays very fast. It's a wonderful game. You'll really enjoy it. It's by a guy named Dr. Steve Finn, and I also have a version of this called Biblios Dice, which is also a lot of fun. I had to pick one. I went for this. This game is as close to perfection in any game that you can find. Biblios. Get it and check it out, man. You're going to love it. Let's see, my #1 filler game. If you watch my videos at all, you know exactly what game I'm going to show you. It's a 2-player only game, and it's called Hanauma Koji. Came out in 2017. This game is perfection in a box, and I mean, it replaces. It's up there with games like Pinochle and poker, and this game is so good. If you don't own this game, you need to go out and get it, please. You will love it. It costs like 12 to 15 bucks, and it's addicting as all get out. Best 2 out of 3 rounds wins. You have 7 oversized geisha cards, and by oversized I mean they're probably the size of this box. And you lay those out in front of you. You put a token on each one of them, and when that token is on your side of the card, the geisha is favoring you. When it's on the other side of the card, the geisha is favoring your opponent, and you're going to work your cards to make that happen. And there you have 4 action tiles, each of you, and they're different actions, all 4 of them, and your turn is simply going to be to draw a card, take an action, draw a card, take an action. 4 times you're going to do that, and then at the end of the round you score it, and whoever has I forget what the total is, but there's a total on those geisha cards. If you hit that total, I think it's like 11 points or something, then you win that round, and it just plays so fast. It's so eloquent. It's so perfect. I love it. Hanauma Koji. You need to buy this game. And that's it. That's my filler games, my top 10 filler games, and I want to tell you, they just have a place in your board. I have a 200 game library here at my house, and those 10 games hit the table more frequently than any big box games that I have, because like many of you, I'm very busy, and I still work for a living, but when I come home, I'm not feeling like spending a lot of time playing games sometimes. So we'll go to one of these filler games and just drive through it and just have fun with it. And it's so relaxing, it's so wonderful. And the 10 games that I showed you, if you had those 10 games and that's all you had in your board gaming collection, hey man, you're doing great. You're having a lot of fun. You're going to enjoy them for the rest of your life, and those are the kind of games I hope you see here on Bones Collector. So check out these filler games, and remember to hit subscribe, hit like, and I love you all. Have a great evening and a great day tomorrow. Bye-bye.